Zinchenko has agreed personal terms with Arsenal Football Club to join them, and of course, part of Mikel Arteta's revolution at the Emirates Stadium. There's been improvement year on year from Mikel Arteta as he now looks set to push forward with the likes of Fabio Vieira, Gabriel Jesus, and now Zinchenko, adding that experience, adding that age profile that's needed, and of course, maintaining the quality of technical football player. More is expected at the Emirates Stadium over the course of this summer, but the Ukrainian is the next player in. All that remains now is for Manchester City to give the complete green light for Zinchenko to join up and formally sign the paperwork. He has agreed the personal terms. This is verbal. He is happy with the squad status, squad number, where he's going to be played, and of course, the salary that Arsenal are going to give him. This is another very astute, very clever capture from Arsenal Football Club as they look to go into the season, cement themselves a top 4 position, get back into the Champions League, and eventually push themselves back towards trying to win the Premier League title. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Let's go. Arsenal Football Club have been very, very busy this summer. Of course, the out-of-the-blue signing of Fabio Vieira, a player people weren't so familiar with, but of course, football fans do their research. Football fans go out of their way to learn about an individual, and you can see why Arsenal want him. Technical, got great technical abilities there. Good athlete. But this man has output. And that's for all the technical ability in the world. If you don't have output, it's a problem. And he has it in abundance. Gabriel Jesus. Now, they may be preseason games, but you've seen his touch compared to Lacazette's is night and day. His finishing ability compared to Lacazette is night and day. Gabriel Jesus is a player who believed that he deserved first-team opportunities on a regular basis. And Arsenal have been able to provide him with that in abundance. In abundance. We will make you the main man. We will help you show the world that you should have been starting more regularly for Manchester City. He's also better from those wide positions than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who for me was an out-and-out poaching goal scorer. So you've actually got a player in Gabriel Jesus that's better than... He may not be a better goal scorer than Aubameyang. Maybe he can prove that this year. But he's a better overall football player than Aubameyang, and he's better at every aspect of the game than Lacazette. So the improvement is key there. And then you move on now to Zinchenko. Zinchenko, I just look at him as so underrated. He's one of these players that because Man City have so many stars, so many big fish, so many players that are seen as the superstars of the game, he just goes under the radar. And we've seen this many, many, many times before at clubs. Manchester United, when they were the powerhouse, the big hitters, there were so many individuals part of our great sides that were just not rated. Michael Carrick, Dennis Irwin. And I'm talking rated outside of our fan base, per se. They weren't too fashionable. They weren't very cool. They weren't the poster boys. The brands didn't want their faces on products as a general rule. But they were integral to the team. And Zinchenko's versatility is something Arsenal are looking for. You know, left back, I still think left back predominantly is where he'll play. By the way, he's better than Kieran Tierney, fit or not fit, and he's more available than Kieran Tierney. So he'll play at left back on a regular basis. He's also better in midfield than nearly every single midfield player Arsenal have got prior to this summer, outside of Thomas Partey. He's very good in midfield. So Arsenal will probably look to utilize him in both places and see which one suits him, them, the team best. And they've got that option with him. But this is another player that's going to help elevate Arsenal. This is another player that's going to help take Arsenal back to the very top. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Now, before we go on any further, I want to say a big well done and congrats to everybody that signed up to our VPN provider, private internet access. You can scan that QR code on the screen or click on the exclusive link in the description. You should not be using the internet without protecting your data. You should always be using a VPN provider. Essentially, all your information, card details, date of birth, your address, your mother's maiden name, and all other security things you can think of. Every single time you go on the internet, there are companies harvesting that data and there are hackers looking to break into it. If you ever use the internet outside of your home, you might be in a bar with your friends. You might be at the airport traveling. You might be at the shopping mall. You could be anywhere. And you use the public Wi-Fi that's available. That is very, very unsecure. But we don't want to use our own data. If you use private internet access, it's a click of a button on the app. It fully protects all your information and will stop you from being hacked, your data being harvested, and big tech companies using your details to make themselves lots and lots of money. So make sure you sign up now. I can give you 3 months free and up to 82% discount off their most premium and popular package. Private internet access are the leading VPN provider in the UK. Get yourself signed up to them right now. I need a nice little sip of my tea there. So we look at this Zinchenko deal. Very, very good indeed. As I said in the opening monologue, personal terms have now been agreed verbally. Okay. But as you know, with the football Terrace, and it's conflicting really for the Terrace because people don't like the BS they get told. They just want straight facts. But fans kind of like the BS because the BS gives them a get out of jail free card. Like I said, Man United wanted Darwin Núñez. Liverpool come in and they turn his head. Man United say, we're walking away, it's too expensive. I wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal say that Zinchenko was always their number one primary defensive target, even though it was heavily reported that Lisandro Martinez was. And that isn't a dig. I'm clarifying that because some people will not say personal terms are agreed until the paperwork is signed. That in itself is impossible. Well, no. Could he agree verbally? Fly to wherever Arsenal are, complete a medical, sit down to sign the paperwork and actually change his mind? Yes, there is a very small, slight possibility that could happen. But it is so unlikely at this point. He's agreed his personal terms. He's agreed his salary, squad status, how they're going to utilize him, his position within the club, shirt number, etc. He has agreed to every single aspect of it, and Zinchenko is excited about joining the Mikel Arteta revolution at Arsenal. Arsenal have been convincing people, by the way, and take this with a pinch of salt if you want, or take it seriously. That's entirely up to you. Arsenal have been convincing some really serious players about the direction Arsenal are going in and what they're going to achieve next season. This is one of the reasons that the Fabio Vieiras, the Gabriel Jesuses have come. Lisandro Martinez, the only reason he picked Man United over Arsenal is the Erik ten Hag factor. If we still had Ole, if we still had Ralph, he was picking Arsenal. Rafinha was very open to joining Arsenal. Chelsea then come in and turned his head. He was like, okay, it's an even better option for me. But Barcelona were always number one. But Arsenal were the team that turned his head first. Arsenal have been able to get Gabriel Jesus in front of the likes of Chelsea, in front of the likes of Tottenham. That's because they're building something. Now, they have to deliver against it. Building something, creating excitement, feeling ready to really push and challenge is one thing. Delivering against it is another. And they're separate conversations. That's why I ring-fenced the transfer window from the actual season. Because it would be very boring if we didn't get hyped up, if we didn't get excited, if we didn't get annoyed at our transfer business. You have to talk about it in isolation. And then at the end of the window, you go, right, now, what do we do with this team in the league? I think they're two separate conversations. But Zinchenko has agreed personal terms. Whether he signed the paperwork or not, he's agreed to them verbally. He is now waiting for Manchester City to give him full permission to leave their training camp and join up. Now, this is the only potential stumbling block. Now, I was given this information and read this information Sunday morning, stroke Sunday afternoon, where I'm recording. This is coming out to you Monday morning. So things in the last 24 hours could change. But Man City are just holding back before they give everything the green light. They've agreed the fee. Everything's agreed verbally. It's now just Man City saying, go on, off your pop, go and sign the paperwork. From that point, from full agreements being reached where the green light's given, you're still looking between 5 to 7 days for everything to complete. Medicals, insurance sign-offs, paperwork signed, photo shoots, intro videos, and whatnot. You're very unlikely to see Arsenal officially confirm any of this until after all those processes are complete. That's typically the way the English clubs do it. 5 to 7 days. Generally from the here we go moment, which is believed to be very, very close indeed. But of course, a lot of the tier ones, they really hold back until they know 99.99999%. And that's because, of course, they don't want to be wrong. For me, I trust the journalist I spoke to yesterday that said personal terms have been agreed. So we will see how this plays out. But I do want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this. How good a signing do you believe this is for Arsenal Football Club? Hit the like and the share button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Scan that QR code as well, people. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.